All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another round of Coffee and Questions. Today's topic is kind of like a springboard from yesterday's. Now, yesterday's we talked about the toilet auger and why it's such a handy tool and why it's going to save you a lot of money just by keeping it around in your garage closet for those intermittent times when you need it, rather than pay, a plumber or a router rooter service, some kind of thing like that. It will save you a significant amount of money. Now, when it comes to drains, now this is different than a toilet. Remember, the toilet has that wax ring between the bottom of the toilet and the flange. So you don't want to use anything like what we're going to talk about that has pressure behind it, because it could blow that wax ring and you'll have a watery mess. Now, for drains, let's say in the kitchen or in the showers, this device works fantastic and it will save you money. I mean, this is the Drain King. I'll leave you the links below. It's made out of a nice thin kind of rubbery material that expands against the pipe. And that creates there's no backflow of water because it expands against the pipe. It kind of pulsates and blows a hard stream of water and frees the plug. But these things can rot and they can get kind of fragile and start leaking and so forth. So when I get a chance, like I said, about every year, maybe more, I go ahead when I think about it and I buy one, especially, when they're on sale. Now, I have about 3 of these out in the garage in different sizes, and I'll explain you that in a second, because most standard, let's say residential homes, have a pipe that runs about 1.5 to 3 inches. So now, with Drain King, they make a couple of different sizes, and I'll show you the larger one here in a minute. So I have this size one and I have the larger one for larger pipes, ones that exceed that 3 inches. So the more this thing expands in a pipe, probably you're getting a little bit less volume, pushing through it. So these work good for my shower drains and for the ones in the kitchen. Now, you have to stop and think, if you've got a double-based basin in the sink in your kitchen, you're going to have to plug one side, when you use this. Now, I don't use this from the top down. I suppose you can. I just have never done it that way. I pull out everything from under the sink and I disassemble part of the PVC and I go ahead and I shove this in there. I turn it on. I've got a bunch of towels in case there's any water leakage coming back, and I turn the hose on and it blows it free and it blows it clean. Now, from the top down, I have a different device that I use, and I'll leave it up here on the screen for you. It's kind of like a zip tie. It's got a jagged edge, and I run it up and down through there, and I do the same thing in the sinks in the bathroom, and that works good. And I keep it under the sink, in the bathroom, so it's handy, and that frees it from, the beginning of the drain, let's say in the sink, down to about where the P-trap is. If the plug is beyond that, then this comes in handy. Okay, and then that one you simply, you just shove it down and pull it up and twist it and shove it down and pull it up, and it pulls up a bunch of hair and a bunch of dirty gunk and stuff like that, and it will free it from the drain, where it is at first, in that sink in the bathroom, down to that P-trap. Beyond that, you can switch over to this, and it works great. Can create a little bit of a mess. That's the reason why I have a bunch of old towels and stuff in there in case there's any backflow of water, but it does work. It has blown the clogs out. Like I said, by having a few of these simple little tools out in your garage, you're not going to use them every day, but when you come across the need to use them, it will save you a significant amount of money, as opposed to calling a plumber or one of the rotor rooter, drain service people, because they do charge quite a bit. And you can do this fast, easy. It does not take a lot of skill or a huge learning curve. It's very simple to use. I would tell you to consider it. Let me show you a couple of other photos, make some comments, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, this is just a close-up of it. You can see it's got the brass ends. Like I said, the more fragile part, of course, is going to be, that rubber material. Now, what I would tell you when I take apart the drains, I slip it in. I mean, you don't have to be gentle with it, but you don't want to roughhouse this thing. And if you have corrosion on the inside of these pipes, I mean, and you rip this, you can't really blame the tool because you're, misusing it. But I slide it in there and I go ahead and it inflates and it does work. Okay, so I told you, no big learning curve. Few simple steps. Attach it to your garden hose. Now, what I would use in terms of a garden hose is 5/8. I mean, 3/4 could actually be better because you're going to get more volume, going through it. And hopefully, you've got a decent amount of pressure, in the house where you live. Step 2 shows you how you wedge it down into the top of that drain after you've removed, like, let's say, the little strainer or whatever from your shower or your sink, whatever you're going to use it on. And then you turn it on full blast. It wedges against the pipe. That way you don't get the water coming back up in the backflow, and it's pulsating and pushing the water forward and hopefully blowing that clog free. It's worked for me, and I know it'll work for you. It'll save you money, for sure. Like I said, it's on sale. You get a little bit of a discount right now. Okay, what I do know is if you have a few of these devices and they're not costly, if you buy the auger for the toilet, you buy a couple of the Drain Kings, you buy the standard size, and then you can buy the larger one, and you get that zip tie cleaner, I'm going to call it. You pretty much have the bases covered, and it's not that costly. It will save you money. Not immediately maybe, but they don't take up a lot of room. And when you do need to use them, it's fast, easy to use, unplugs, and you're not paying, like I said, the costly service, for a plumber or a Roto-Rooter service to come out. Anyway, these are things for you to consider. The links on all of these products are below. Go ahead and click on them. You can read more about them. You don't have to buy the Drain King one if you don't want to. It's the one that I've bought. It's the one that I've always used. Or the rigid auger. If you want to buy a different auger, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm just saying in general, these things will save you money. I'm just showing you some things that are on sale. If you can get a better price, drop it in the comment below. Otherwise, you should consider getting these. Like I said, it'll save you money in the long run. You folks have a great day. I hope you enjoy the videos. Click subscribe. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.